So Melanie Shinbaum, the executive director of the Nashville Early Education Coalition Fund. It's fun to hear she's new in this venture, but yet she's really seasoned.
She's new in this venture because the venture is new, and it makes me really excited that this problem is finally getting its coalition. It's finally getting people like Melanie on board. It's finally getting these resources and these connections together, because it's been a problem for a really long time. It's kind of a bummer, in my opinion, that this is new. Like, we have needed this for a long time, but at the same time, there's light in my eyes. I'm excited that somebody is finally doing something about it.
I think classically, entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial solutions seem tailor-made to solve what is going on here. It's hard when there is a lack of demand for something. You can create a solution to a problem that doesn't exist, and you will quickly find yourself to bankruptcy. Here, we know that the problem exists, and it will continue to exist as long as mankind continues to roam the earth. We're going to have issues and need around childcare. This is purely a supply-side problem, meaning we don't have the capacity that we need, and we need to understand why. Because on top of that, there's a lot of very compelling motivational reasons to provide that capacity. From purely an economic standpoint, there's profit to be made here. If you're looking at it from an employer standpoint, there is a obvious differentiator when every employer is trying to find another reason to come and work. Here's a reason. And you can choose my company rather than the other company because we offer childcare. All of those are the types of wind in the sails that make me really convinced that this is going to be solved. And the challenge is it can't wait. And she talked about that so clearly, in that every month, every year that passes by for these, especially infants and young kiddos, it's time you don't get back, and you can't make it up when they're older.
I think that's really important. And I also think when you look at the demographics of our state, we sit here and talk all the time about how many people are moving to Tennessee and why do they want to be here and why is it such a great entrepreneurial place to live and to start your business and to bring your family. Gosh, if we are going to be the leader in so many areas, it just begs that we need to be the leader in this issue. And there are so many really involved, amazing dads. Co-parenting is a big deal. And so I'm not trying to leave anybody out, but it does disproportionately harm women and harm moms. And what we didn't even get into is if you take 5 years, let's say you only have one kid, and you leave the workforce until your child goes to kindergarten, the technology, the connections, the world of corporate America, even in small business, moves at such a rate that if you take 5 years off, you go back at such a cut in your pay and your potential to try to build back up, that once you leave the workforce, it's really hard to get back in. And a lot of women just don't ever even get the opportunity to do that. That's if you have one kid. If you have 4 like us, I mean, you're looking at 15-year span before all your kids are in kindergarten. And then the other demographic we didn't get into is the number, and we don't have data on it today, but the number of grandparents that are coming back out of retirement that are living completely different lives than they planned because they have to fill in the gap to be the childcare. And it's not that they don't love their grandkids. It's not that they don't want to do it. But there's this whole demographic of individuals that might work themselves, that might delay retirement because they love their jobs and they're being productive, that might go into the private sector or nonprofit sector, that can't because they are providing childcare. It's just a systemic problem that hits every side of our economy.
Oh, that's exactly right. It impacts families. It deprives our economy from workers that we really need, because there's no longer the incentive for them to work because they've got to go and take care of the most important thing, which is your family. And who can blame them? A lot of the challenges that we deal with, there is just no solution immediately apparent. Whereas here, there is at least a plan, a pathway, and something that we know can work. And it's just about, can we get the right people's attention in the government? Can we get the right people's attention in business?
I agree. I think at our core, leadership is solving problems, period. It's solving problems for people. And as you say, the solution is right in front of us. That's what makes this so maddening. It's not like we have to invent some type of magical potion or robot or something. We don't have to be Elon Musk, trying to figure out how to get to Mars, right? This exists. It's doable. There's a way to make this quality immediately. And my heart for women is so many women want to stay home with their kids, and it's not an option, right? It wasn't an option for my mom for a really long time. I'm blessed that I had that option, and I've been home and I've been at work. But for some people, it's truly not an option. And the heart-wrenching decision of this isn't a choice I would make. And then I have to pick between mediocre and really subpar for my precious child when I don't want to leave them anyway is just more than we should expect of somebody, period.